What is the best recommendation for you to learn um, English? What what is your well? I am a student, English
Hmm.
student, but what is your best things to do to to learn more easy the English
Hmm.
to for example for Spanish language or and the other question is the people from you have a student from all people around the world, I think,
Yeah.
and is more easy to learn English from the Spanish people or India people, Chinese or something like that, or is not important. It's not.
Yeah, I'll take
It's
that
always the
second
same.
question. I'll take the second question first because that's an interesting one. And I don't know what John thinks about this too,
Mhm.
but I don't think it makes that much difference really what your first language is, especially in terms of learning
Mhm.
conversation. It's going to be an adjustment for everyone,
Mhm.
you know, to
Mhm.
learn to converse in a different language. When it comes to the writing, you have an advantage when your first language is, you know, uses the same script because, you know, if you
Mhm.
are a
Uh-huh.
Chinese speaker, it's like
Mm.
or Arabic, it's a totally different writing system. So it takes them
Yeah.
longer
Mhm.
to learn how to write. But I think it's challenging for everyone to learn to hold a
Mhm.
conversation in another language. I will say
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
Spanish, we have an advantage between our two languages because there are so many cognates, so many words that are similar,
Mhm.
sound
Mhm. Mhm.
similar, that sometimes you don't know the word, but you can kind of guess what it might be.
Right. Yeah.
So we have that advantage. But I think that advantage mainly is in the reading. Like it's easier for me to read in Spanish, for example, or for you to read in English when you kind of recognize a lot of words. But
Mhm.
to hold a conversation, it's always going to be challenging at the beginning.
Mhm. Mhm.
So then that
Yeah.
kind of takes me to your first question, and that's, you know, I think what anyone would tell you is it just to practice, like to put yourself in situations like we are today, you know, where you have to
Yeah.
hold a conversation.
Mhm.
There's no substitute really for practicing. I know people are really into like Duolingo these days, and they'll go like up and
Right.
up and
Right.
up the levels, and then someone will
Right.
ask them a question, and you're like, you know.
Right. Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I think
That's not to say, there's benefits to learning with Duolingo, but the thing is you're not talking to a real person
yeah,
unless
and
unless you actually have an arrangement with a real teacher. But
yeah,
you can get both, I guess, from Duolingo. I mean, I don't obviously use Duolingo, but I think you can get both live teachers and then you can get the applications and the automatic stuff, right?
yeah,
But well, okay, if you get the live teachers, okay, that is pretty close to the real thing. Um, and but if you're just doing a lot of exercises that are even listening comprehension exercises,
yeah.
it's no substitute for actually speaking in reality. And even here, like, okay, we're not actually face to face, we're not
Mhm,
meeting in
Mhm.
person.
mhm.
Okay, but this is the closest thing that you can get to this.
Yeah,
If I had a lot of money, Nanda, I would pay for your flight down
fly
here to
me down
Costa
there
Rica.
anytime.
Yeah,
I would be there in a heartbeat, John.
you would. Okay, yeah. Uh-huh. Well, when this show starts making a lot of money, we'll be able to do that.
I
But
would
for
love
now,
to
we
come
have to
back
do
to
it this way.
Costa Rica. That would be great.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Sure.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's really that well in my field of study, you know, the
Mhm.
way we talk about it is it's like situated practice, like being in the situation where you are using the
Mm.
language, that's really the place you need to practice it. So like if you're situation where you're going to have to use the languages on the phone a lot, well, then you're going to need to practice like answering the phone and like, you know, thinking fast enough to, you know, have the conversation. If it's going to be over the counter, you know, with a customer, then you need to kind of try to simulate that. You have to kind of be in, you know, try to put yourself in the situation where you need to respond. And then it's not just your head, it's like your whole body sort of like knows what to do.